You noticed, but Brooklyn Beckham's actually in that video.
Oh wow,
he's so grown up.
David Beckham and his family are everywhere, taking over GQ and now music videos. He's so grown up. But that is such an uplifting song. You know, if you haven't woken up already, I'm sure right now you have. Now it's year 2016, so it's time to wake up. It's that time of year where everyone's got their resolutions on point, but here to help us a little more. Well, for the past 3 years, Wesley Chan has been serving as a trainer and coach to the youth across Malaysia. His biggest vision is to see people inspired to do what they do in their life and career with passion and happiness. He strongly believes that youths should be led to unleash their utmost potential to strive towards fulfillment and purpose of life. Now today we kick off a new monthly series right here on VBuzz titled How to Make Your 2016 a Year to Remember. And there's no better starting point than setting a few goals to get you going. And we have Wesley Chan in the studio here with us today to tell us all about it. Welcome back to VBuzz, Wesley.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being here with us. Now, Wesley, you know, it is the start of the new year. Yes. Hopefully it's not too late to start making resolutions, but why do people feel the need to set their goals and resolutions at this time of the year?
Okay, it's never too late. I think people have this perception when it's New Year, it's a fresh start. So whereby it's for January the 1st, it's the first week, first month, they set new goals like getting slimmer, have more money, buy a big car, big house and things like that. But I believe it's not just the start of the year. Anytime is a good time. Now there's no time like present. It's not just about a new year, they have a good start. But anytime we can set goals. I think most people wanted to just set goals because it's a fresh start for them. But I believe anytime is a good time. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So any time of the year will be a good time. So, but despite saying that, I think all of us should have our goals to give us a direction and a sense of purpose in whatever that we do.
So it's never too late basically to set goals.
It's never too late. I think it's not just about setting the goals, but also to commit and to act upon it. That's the most important thing.
But do you feel, you know, because around this time of the year, you know, that especially if you look at Facebook and stuff, there's this meme going around, you know, it's around that time of the season for New Year, New Me again. Do you feel it's a bit more of a pressure from all your friends who are setting goals as well?
I think it's good that everyone is setting goals, you follow your friend, but another thing is to set your own goal that works for you and you commit to it. It's not making New Year resolution, it's making New Year commitments. That's what I believe.
Which leads me to wonder, what's the secret for making good resolutions?
The most important thing is this. I think most people set goals stating the negative, but most important is to state all the positive. Example, people set goals like, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to be poor. So because when you focus not being poor, guess what? You focus on being poor. It's just an example, do not think of a pink elephant. And you think of a pink elephant.
I just did that.
So the most important thing is to have a goal that is positive. Example, I don't want to be poor, I want to be rich. So set on the positive side. Because our unconscious mind, we do not process the word not. So instead of being negative, just go straight to the positive point. That's the most important part. I want to be rich, I want to be fit, so sit on the positive side. That's the most important thing about goals.
So not starting out on a negative statement, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So keeping on that, you know, similar notion of the unconscious mind, you know, something we hear that is thrown around a lot is the power of, you know, visualizing. What do you feel about visualization?
I think it's very important. Visualization simply means like this. So great things happen twice. Once in the mind, second in the reality.
Oh wow.
So which means before everything happens, first play in your mind. For example, for what I apply, it's basically every time before I go on stage to deliver talks, imagine that your crowd, they stand up and give you a standing ovation. They smile at you. So when you visualize that thought, what you see, what you're about to hear, what you're about to feel, it makes you look very real. So it gives you that sense of boost, that motivation in you. So everything happens first in your mind. So most important thing is to visualize the outcome that you want. Be as specific as you can. Like example, what do you feel once you achieve your goal? What do you see? What do you hear when you achieve your goal? Go as specific as that. So when you visualize that, it gives you a sort of like, you know, goosebump moment, the urge to go there. So that's what most important about visualizing.
It drives you. It's something that drives you.
Yes, exactly.
But with regards to visualization, how dissimilar or similar is it to dreams?
Visualizing is you can control. Dreams and visualizing is almost the same. But when you visualize, you go as specific as you can. Because when you visualize and you commit to it, dream is like, oh, I just dream to have this. It's not much of a commitment. But when you visualize, you be as specific as you can. You go down to the detail, for example, of the car that you want to buy, the color, where do you want to stand, people applause you, how much money you want in the bank account. So be as specific as you can. Because when you visualize, it's as if it's real. So that's the difference between visualizing and having a dream.
So it's a little more than sort of like a daydream or something like that.
Yes. So Wesley, just for the benefit of our viewers out there who maybe haven't quite grasped the concept of visualization, could you share with us maybe what does your vision board or what do your visualizations look like?
I've done one vision board that was 8 years ago. That was the first time I did a vision board. So I was inspired through this book called The Secret, The Law of Attraction. So as I watched the video, I was like, wow, this thing is cool. So it gives me like motivation and drive in me. So what I did was, it was one day that I was walking past in the Chancellor Hall of UTP. I was a chemical engineer graduate from UTP. So I was walking there and it was the convocation ceremony at the time. That time I was in my first year. So as I peeped through the glass door, through the window of the convocation ceremony, and I saw a girl on stage and she was receiving her Gold Chancellor Award. Wow. I was like, oh, that's cool to be out there. Then I told myself, you give me 4 years and I'll be there. So I went back and I bought a big board. Then I pasted pictures of my goals, ranging from my 4 years graduation ceremony from that time. I graduated in 2012. I did the board in 2008. So I pasted that Gold Chancellor Award by Tun Mahathir, and then my dream CGPA. I mean, I dream of having 4.0, of course I didn't get that. So I took the pictures from Google, from Facebook, my senior's Facebook. So I pasted it there, and then my dream phone. Back then was BlackBerry, not was iPhone. And then my dream car, and this one idol I always want to meet. His name is Tony Robbins. Everyone knows him. So those are my dreams that I've pasted since 8 years ago. And it was back in 2012. It was my convocation ceremony at the time. So, by the way, this board is pasted in my room. So, and it's always there. So when you wake up...
For 4 years?
Yeah, for 4 years it's always been there. So when you wake up, the first thing that you see, your goals. Pictures
and how important is it to have pictures instead of just the words?
It is very important because our mind processes images. Example, when I mention the word mother, do you think of your mother's face or the word M-O-T-H-E-R?
The face itself.
So we think in terms of images. So when you stick images, it's more appealing and more real for you. So 2012, that was my convocation at the time. So and I was called. I was being selected as the Gold Chancellor Award. I had the award from Tun Mahathir. At the point of time, I went back home into my room again, and I saw the board. And I was actually crying.
So you are living proof of the power of visualization.
Yeah, I always believe in that. And the greatest feeling is when you can take a marker pen, you can take that.
You can take it off,
then you feel that. It works for me very well since 8 years ago.
It gives you that rush, and I think, we are very visually driven. I mean, the Instagram's success basically is all down to that. But with regards to the vision board itself, how difficult is it? Because you need to know first what you want in the first place. So how difficult is it for anyone to just come and put things on the vision board?
It is very easy to just do it. I think it's just to commit. I think many people have heard of vision board, but not many actually have committed to it. I mean, we have all heard everywhere about vision board. I've given talks like so many schools, universities, corporate companies. They'll say, I'm going to do. But at the end, when you check on them, not many of them will do it. But I think those who commit, those who stick to it, it works for them.
It takes discipline as well.
It takes a lot of discipline too.
Thank you for that tip, and we can't wait to hear a lot more tips to having a more productive 2016. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, you're still tuned in here with us at VBuzz, and we are still speaking to Wesley Chan about setting goals for 2016.
So Wesley, before we left for our break, we're speaking about vision boards. What other resources do we need in order to carry out our resolutions and achieve our goals?
I think the most important is the psychology and physiology of excellence. Which means when you dream, of course, is to commit to it and to maintain your psychology along the way. Now, people say being positive, but most important is to maintain a very uplifting, positive state along the way, all the time. It's not just when you set the goal, but when you commit to doing that, maintain the psychology of excellence. Not just psychology, but also your physiology.
Okay.
So when you go on, let's say you go for appointments, or when you achieve the goal, maintain that state. Just like the first day when you dream of having that goal, the excitement that you have, maintain along the way. If you take it 1 year, 2 years, just maintain along the way of that psychology of excellence.
How do we go about maintaining that same spirit, from the first day, carrying it along throughout the whole process? Do you have any tips for maintaining that same spirit?
Yeah, of course. You place your vision board beside your bed. So every day when you wake up and before you sleep, you just look at that board of yours, so it gives you that drive again. There are some people keep their vision board on their desktop or in their wallet and things like that. So it becomes an anchor for them. So every time you look at their pictures of dreams, it gives them a motivation and boost to them. So like my tips are, put in your bedroom. Beside your bed, when you wake up every day, just look at it before you sleep one more time. Because our brain works because 10 minutes when you wake up and 10 minutes before you sleep, that's when our brain is most receptive of whatever coming to us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to imagine the first 10 minutes when I wake up. I'm usually like struggling to open my eyes. But with regards to, so it's something that if it's right in front of you, eventually you will start incorporating it into your daily life.
It's very unconscious when it's in front of you, like every day in front of you. Even you see or you don't, it's unconsciously you can feel it's there.
Now you mentioned before we went on the break, you were talking about, you mentioned when passing the law of attraction.
Yes.
Now how important is it of putting our desires out there into the universe to you?
I think it's very important, as in is to not just dream, but also to declare that you want it, and also to put it into action, put it into a vision board, act upon it, put commitment into it. It's not just to dream, but it's to act upon it. So that's the most important thing. The law of attraction basically means that to manifest your thoughts, have good thoughts in you. Good thoughts will create good behaviors, action, produce good results. It's to first have it in the mind. Basically, that's what it means.
Of course, if we have our vision board and we have the intention and we've declared it, what are some of the obstacles that usually get in people's way? Like some of the obstacles maybe you've seen people face in trying to achieve their goals?
I think most people will face no follow through. They say, I want to just be fit, I want to lose weight and things like that. But in the end, people don't commit to it. So I think it's not just a set resolution, like what I say, is to be committed to it. So it's to act upon it. The main obstacle that I usually have encountered from people around me, no follow through. They just dream and they don't commit to it. They just say, but they don't do anything about it.
Well, what are some of the factors that contribute to this lack of follow through?
The main thing that I see in people is that when they don't see results. Example, you want to be fit, you want to be thin, you want to be rich. It will not take only 1 day. You need time to manifest it out. I think it's to stay persistent and resilient until you see the first inch of result. Because along the way, when you see results and progress, you get more motivated. I think it's to just keep ourselves in mind. It takes time. I mean, there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut that you can do. But to be persistent until you see the first inch of result, and then you keep going on from there.
I think we live in a world where everyone wants instant results, instant gratification. So, people often say you got to work hard and work smart. And the word SMART means something else. So could you elaborate a little further on SMART goals?
Yes, exactly. We talked about setting goals based on the principle of SMART. Now, what does it mean? S is to be specific. Example, how much money that you want to have. So be specific as you can. Being specific. M is measurable. Have a goal that's measurable. Example, I want to be happy. You can't measure happiness. There's no happiness index.
And it's temporary as well.
Yeah, it's temporary, like what I say, true. So it's something that's measurable. Example, your pointer, money in your bank account, maybe number of trainings that you run, number of days that you work, number of appointments that you have. So it's measurable. A is attainable. As pertaining to your skills, do you have enough skills? Knowledge, is it enough? R is being realistic. But my coach always tells me this one thing. You want to set a good goal, make sure to be realistic. It's not that tomorrow I'm going to fly to the moon, but is it realistic or not? Tomorrow I'm going to hit 1 million sales, but so it's like, is it realistic to you? A good goal is always 50-50. They can achieve or cannot, can or cannot. So a good one will be 50-50, and R is time. So you have a time frame when you're going to achieve it. Be specific, measurable, is it attainable, is it realistic, and at the time.
That realistic point is very interesting, because often we're told to like dream big, aim for the moon and all this and that. But I guess we got to be realistic sometimes. But along the way of in that process, what are some of the self-checks we can have in place in order to ensure that we're, on track?
Yeah, like what you said, a lot of people set very like big goals and too huge and things like that. I think the most important thing to me, when you set a long-term goal or whatever goal it is to break it down.
Okay.
Example, when you set a long-term 3 years goal, break it down to 2 years, 1 year, monthly goal, the weekly goal and daily goal. So you break it down, then it looks like a small chunk, so it's easier for you to just do it. It's like eating a pizza. You don't take the whole pizza and just squash it into your mouth. You take slices, crumb by crumb, bites by bites.
Sort of similar to like milestones then,
yes, exactly. So you break down your goals, so it makes it easier for you to accomplish small goals. Because when you make progress, you become more happy.
Yes.
You become more motivated.
More confident as well of your ability. But with regards to the goals itself, we try to set goals and we don't follow through. What's your main tip for anyone out there who's watching, who's like, I think I want to lose weight? What's the one thing that you would want to tell them, like right now?
I think when you set a goal, make sure that you commit to it and make sure you're hungry enough to achieve it. Don't just set a goal because my friend told me so or just a wish. But make a goal that's something that you commit to it and you make an agreement to yourself. When you commit to it, you follow through. You commit, you follow through, then you persist, be resilient, and just act upon it. And the most important thing, another thing that people usually face, procrastination.
Yeah.
And they will say, I'll do it
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow syndrome. So don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until it's too late. But start right now. What can you do right now on a daily basis that can change your quality of life? Example, if let's say you're too busy to go for a jog, do something else. Or maybe you cut your diet or something like that, go for a walk in the park, something like that. So make small commitment that leads to big results.
Okay.
That's all I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
It starts with a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Thank you so much, Wesley, for taking the time to speak to us. Now that we all know, we'll be seeing a whole lot more of you as well, as we continue on our series on how to make our 2016 better and more goal-oriented. But speaking of goals, everyone's got a dream ambition when they grow up. I wanted to be an astronaut. So that's why I'm here, because I get to meet stars and stuff like that, But recently, TEDx KL Youth had their annual